Hello, today I am going to analyze the facial aesthetics of Audrey Hepburn, who is one of the most iconic actresses of the 1950s. Let's start with her frontal harmony. Her facial thirds are slightly unbalanced as her middle third is too long at 36.4%. Her lower third, on the other hand, is around 32%, which is perfect and feminine. Her total face shape is 1.33, which is considered ideal. Her face is neither too long nor too short. Audrey's mid-face ratio is 0.99, which falls just outside the ideal range. This means that the distance between the eye pupils is slightly low compared to the distance from this line to the upper lip. Now moving on to probably her biggest flaw, her FWHR is too low at 1.75, which in her case suggests that her nose is a bit too long. However, her jaw width is 84.3%, which sits comfortably in the ideal range, and her forehead width is also excellent. The next measurement is the jaw frontal angle, which in her case is slightly obtuse. Audrey's cheekbones are perfectly high set at 83%. Moving on to one of the most important measurements, her eye separation ratio is 46.4%, which is excellent and feminine, and her eyes are spaced roughly one eye apart. This means that her eye spacing as a whole is perfect. Audrey's canthal tilt is actually too positive at 14 degrees, which isn't a big deal, and in some cases it could contribute to a more unique look. Her eye aspect ratio is 2.3, which is slightly too rounded. Her eyebrows are medium set and positively tilted, which is considered ideal for women. Her ipsilateral ALR angle is 92 degrees, which is ideal but doesn't harmonize well with her jaw frontal angle due to her jaw being a bit flat. Audrey's mouth to nose ratio is 1.36, which is lower than ideal. This suggests that ideally her mouth should be a bit wider. Her nasal width, however, is great compared to the width of her face. Her chin to philtrum ratio is ideal at 2.15, and both her neck width and lip proportions are within the ideal range. Finally, her lower third proportion is excellent at 33.7%. These were all the harmony measurements from the front. Now, let's move on to her side profile. Audrey's glabella facial convexity is 167 degrees, which falls nicely within the ideal range, and her other facial convexity angles are also very good, which indicates that her chin, nose, and brow ridge harmonize well. Her jaw isn't recessed relative to the Frankfurt plane, which is a positive sign for her facial development. Her ramus is tall enough compared to her mandible, and her gonial angle is 115 degrees, which is ideal, contributing to a well-defined but still feminine jawline. Her mandibular plane angle is 17 degrees, also great. In terms of lip assessments, Audrey's E-plane is essentially perfect. She also passes the H-line, the Burstone line, and the Steiner line, meaning her lips and chin are well balanced. One of her flaws is her nasolabial angle, which is 89 degrees. This suggests that ideally, her nose should be more upturned. Her nasofrontal angle, on the other hand, is perfectly ideal at 136 degrees. Audrey's nasal convexity is 30 degrees, which means that her nose is slightly overprojected. Her nasofacial angle sits at the higher end of the ideal range, while her nasomental angle is too acute, again supporting the idea that her nose is a bit overprojected. The last nose assessment is her nasal tip angle, which is ideal. Moving on, her mentolabial angle is excellent at 116 degrees, but her brow ridge inclination is too low, making her forehead appear somewhat flat. Audrey's orbital vector is neutral, which is also a minor flaw. And lastly, her gonian is below her mouth, which is ideal. Putting all of this together, Audrey Hepburn scores 72.4% for facial harmony. This is a very high score, though not quite in the absolute top tier. Next is her facial angularity, which is very good. Her face is very lean, but not overly so. Her chin shape is great, and her submental region is defined. Her only quite significant flaw in this department is that her cheekbones aren't that prominent, so she scores a 9 out of 10 for angularity. For sexual dimorphism, she scores extremely high. Her face is often cited as a classic example of femininity. From her eyes and lips to her jawline and overall proportions, almost everything leans feminine. Accordingly, she receives a 9.5 out of 10 for dimorphism. And lastly, in the miscellaneous features category, she scores high, though again, not quite top tier. Her main weaknesses here are related to the nose shape and the under-eye support. Aside from those, she has good skin texture, full lips with a defined cupid's bow, and strong eyebrow density. Overall, she scores 7.07 out of 10 for features. Combining all components, Audrey Hepburn's overall facial attractiveness score is an 8 out of 10, with an accepted range from 7.7 to 8.1. This places her comfortably in the model tier category of facial attractiveness. This high level of aesthetics is one of the reasons her beauty remains iconic and widely admired even today, over 60 years after her peak.